Hello everyone, this is your teacher Muhammad Saeed, and today we are going to start SAT Math Practice Test 1 Module 1. Our first module consists of 27 questions. Our first question is, what is 10% of 470? So just multiply 470 with 10 and divide by 100. Both zeros will be cancelled out and the answer is 47. So 47 is the right answer. Our second MCQ is 4x plus 6 equals to 18. Which equation has the same solution as the given equation? Since we have to find the value of 4x, just move 6 towards the right side of the equation. It becomes 4x equals to 18 minus 6. Remember, the sign of 6 is minus here. And the answer is 12 now. So, C is the right answer. Our third MCQ is, the total cost in dollars to rent a surfboard consists of $25 surf fee. Here $25 is the service fee and $10 per hour is the rental fee. A person rents a surfboard for 40 hours and intends to spend a maximum of $75 to rent the surfboard. Which inequality represents this solution? Okay, so $10 is the rental fee per hour, and if 40 hours, it means the rental fee for T hours will be 10 times T. And there is a fixed amount, that is service fee, that is $25. So $25 is the service fee that is added to this amount, and the result will be less than or equal to $75 because we have a maximum spend of $75. So this is your right equation. That is $25 plus 10t less than equals to 75. So D is the correct answer. The function g is defined by g of x equals to xk plus 9, for which value of x is g of x equals to 25. Just make it equal the both expressions. It becomes x square plus 9 equals to 25. X square equals to 25 minus 9. Remember that the sign of 9 is negative. So the answer is 16 by taking square root on both sides. The value of x is 4. So 4 is the right answer. Okay, our fifth question is, each face of a fair 14-sided die is labeled with a number from 1 to 14. Means there is a 14-sided die. Each side is numbered from 1 to 14. With a different number appearing on each face, if the die is rolled one time, what is the probability of rolling 2? Since there is only one face which has a number 2 and the die is also rolled one time. So what is the probability? The total possible chances of the outcoming of 2 for one time is 1. Out of how many options? 14 options. There are 14 options from 1 to 14 and there is only one side which contains 2. So the probability is 1 by 14. This is the right answer. Let's move towards the question number 6. In question number 6, a printer produces posters at a constant rate of 42 posters per minute. So the rate is 42 posters per minute. At what rate in posters per hour does the printer produce the posters? So we have to find the value in hour. Then what we can do? We can just multiply the numerator and denominator with 60. Multiply by 60. Posters per 60 minutes. That is equals to 42 times 60. It becomes 42 times 60. The answer is 2520. So, the answer is 2520 per 60 minutes becomes hour. So, it will be 2520 posters per hour. So, this is the rate and the printer definitely produces the posters. Let's move towards the next question. Our next question is question number 7. In question number 7, the function f is defined by the equation f of x equals to 7x plus 2. What is the value of f of x when x is 4? Just put the value of x in this place. F of 4 equals to 7 times 4 plus 2. It will become 16. So this is the answer. In question number 8, a teacher is creating an assignment worth 70 points. The assignment will consist of questions worth 1 point and questions worth 3 points. Which equation represents the situation where x represents the number of 1 point questions and y represents the number of 3 point questions? Since x represents the number of 1 point question, so I can write it as 1 times x plus, and y represents the 3 point questions, so I can write it as 3 times y, and the worth of this question is 70 points. So this equation will becomes x plus 3y, that is equals to 70. So D is the correct answer. Let's move towards the next question. In next question, we have a right triangle LMN and PQR are similar, where L and M corresponds to P and Q respectively. Angle M has a measure of 53 degrees. What is the measure of angle Q? Where L corresponds to P and M corresponds to Q. Since the angle M has a measure of 53 degrees, then the angle Q also have the same measurement, that is 53 degrees. Let's move towards the next question. Our next question is question number 10. In question number 10, we have two equations. Y equals to negative times 3x, and second equation is 4x plus y equals to 15. We have to find the value of x. Just substitute the value of y from equation 1 in equation 2. Equation 2 becomes, this is equation number 2 and this is equation number 1. So equation 2 becomes 4x plus negative times 3x equals to 15. It becomes 4x negative times 3x equals to 15. The answer is x equals to 15. 4x minus 3x. So the answer is 15. In question number 11, we have a scatter plot. The statement is, which of the following equations is the most appropriate linear model for the data shown in the scatter plot? To find the most appropriate linear model, we have to substitute the values of x in the equations to find the values of y. We can take any of the x values, but I am choosing the value of x as 1. So we are substituting the 1 in the equations. The answer of first equation will be minus 12 because minus 10.1 minus 1.9. Similarly, the answer of second equation is minus 1.9 plus 10.1. It will becomes 8.2. Similarly, our third equation gives the answer here plus 1.9 and minus 10.1. The answer is minus 8.2. And the last equation gives the answer plus 12. I just substitute the value of x as 1 in all of the 4 equations and find out the values of y. Since for the value of x as 1, which value is the most appropriate and is most close to the value of x? Let's see. Minus 12. Since the values of y are all positive, so minus 12 is not considered as the right answer. Also, minus 8.2 is not the right answer. So we have left two values, 8.2 and 12. So as x is 1, the plus 12 value of y is not close to x, but the value of y as 8.2 is nearly close to x. The value of y, that is 8.2, at this point, I can say at this point, the graph will be more nearly close to the value of x. So, B is the right answer. In question number 12, a graph is given. The statement is, the graph of y equals to f of x is shown where the function f is defined by f of x equals to 8 times x cube plus b times x square plus c times x plus d. And a, b, c and d are all constants. For how many values of x does f of x is 0? So, first we will see when f of x is 0. The f of x can only be 0 on x-axis. At this point, at this point, at this point. At these 3 points, the value of f of x is 0. Means from these 3 points, the graph is intersecting x-axis. So the answer is 3. In question number 13, Vivaan bought party hats and cupcakes for $71. Each package of party hat cost $3 and each cupcake cost $1. If Vivaan bought 10 packages of party hats, how many cupcakes did she buy? So, since Vivaan bought 10 packages of party hats, so let's find out the amount for party hats that Vivaan had spent. Since each party hat costs $3, so the amount will be 10 times 3, that is equals to 30. So, Vivaan spent $30 for party hats. What the remaining amount is? The remaining amount is 71 minus 30, that is equals to $41. Since each cupcake cost $1, so Vivaan had bought 41 cupcakes. Okay. In question number 14, we have a quadratic equation z square plus 10z minus 24 equals to 0. What is one of the solutions to the given equation? Let's solve this equation. By factorizing this equation, it becomes z square plus 12z minus 2z minus 24 equals to 0. What is the common in the first two terms? Z is the common thing. So, we are taking z as common and the remaining is z plus 12. And what is common in the second two terms? It is minus 2. And what we left, that is z plus 12 equals to 0. We can rewrite this equation as z minus 2 and z plus 12 equals to 0. So what the values of z? The values of z are 2 and minus 12. So these are the two solutions of the given equation. In question number 15, bacteria are growing in a liquid growth medium. There were 300,000 cells per milliliter during an initial observation. The number of cells per milliliter doubles every 3 hours. How many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? So this is the initial observation of cells, and the cells are getting doubled every 3 hours, and we have to find the number of cells after 15 hours. Let y represents the number of cells in x hours. So the relation between y and x is represented by y equals to a times b whole raised to the power x over k, where a represents the number of cells as initial observation and the cells are increasing by b times in k hours. The values becomes, the value of a will be 300,000. The value of b will be, since the cells are getting doubled, so the value of b will be 2 in 3 hours. So the value of k is 3. The equation becomes y equals to 300,000 times 2 whole raised to the power x by 3. Now x, we have to find the values after 15 hours. So the value of x will be 15. Just substitute the value of x. The equation becomes y equals to 300,000 times 2 whole raised to the power 15 by 3. This equation becomes 300,000 times 2 raised to power 5, and it becomes 300,032. Okay, so just find the values using calculator. So by multiplying 300,000 with 32, 300,000 multiplied by 32, the answer is 9,600,000. So it becomes 9,600,000. So D is the right answer. In question number 16, which expression is equivalent to 6x raised to power 8 y square plus 12x square y square? We can rewrite this expression as 6x raised to power 6 times x raised to power 2 times y raised to power 2 plus, we can write split 12 as 6 times 2 times x square times y square. What is common between these two expressions? We have 6 in common. We have x square and y square in common. By taking these values in common, what we will get? 6 x square y square, and the remaining answer is x raised to power 6 plus 2. So C is the correct answer. In question number 17, a neighborhood consists of a 2-hectare park and a 35-hectare residential area. The total number of trees in the neighborhood is 3934. The equation 2x plus 35y equals to 3934 represents this situation. Which of the following is the best interpretation of x in this context? Since there is a 2-hectare park and 35-hectare residential area, and the total number of trees are 3934, and this is the equation. Let's see the options. The average number of trees per hectare in the park, the average number of trees per hectare in the residential area. Then we have to find the best interpretation for x. Since the equation here we have 2x and there are 2-hectare park. So the average number of trees per hectare in the park, the average number of trees per hectare in the residential area. So B option is not true because we have a park, 2-hectare park. And the total number of trees in the park, it is not possible to find the total number of trees, the exact value for trees for both the park and for the residential area. So our correct option is A because it represents 2 times the number of trees per hectare. Since there are 2 hectares, so by multiplying with 2, we can find the number of trees in 2-hectare park approximately, or we can find the average number of trees in 2-hectare park. So A is the right answer. In question number 18, we have a graph. The graph shows the relationship between the number of shares of stock from company A that are represented by x-axis and the number of shares of stock from company B are represented along y-axis that Simon can purchase. Which equation could represent this relationship? Since there are 4 options and we have to find which option is correct or which relationship is correctly representing the situation. Let's say we can choose any of the value of x from the given values. I am choosing x as 0. Let's see if we can find the values of y that are correctly approximately to the value of x. When the x is 0, the value of y is 40. So let's see which equation is giving us the value 40. When I put the value of x0 in first equation, it gives the value of y as 12. So 12 is not right. Also, when I put x as 0 in second equation, it becomes 12 times y equals to 480. But by just dividing by 12 on both sides, it gives the value y equals to 40. By putting the value of x in third equation, y equals to 8, and the fourth equation gives us the value y equals to 60. So, by second equation, we can get the value y equals to 40. So, our second equation is correct. So, the correct option is B. In question number 19, circle A has a radius of 3n and circle B has a radius of 129n, where n is a positive constant. The area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A? Let's find out the area of both circles. Area of circle A, that is equals to pi r square, where r is 3n, so I can write it as pi 3n whole square. It becomes 9 n square pi. And similarly, the area of circle B equals to 129n, so I can write it as pi times 129n whole square. So what is the value of 129n? 129 multiplied by 129. The answer is 16,641. 16,641. It will become 16,641 times n square pi. Now, since we have to find how many times the area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A. Let's see the area of circle B is equals to K times the area of circle A. This is area. The area of circle B is 16,641 n square pi equals to K times 9 n square pi. To find the value of K, divide by 9n square on both sides, 9n square pi. 9 n square pi. Since this will be cancelled out, and the value of pi can also be cancelled out, n square can also be cancelled out, and what we left on the left side, it is 16,641 divided by 9, that is equals to K. So let's find the value of K. 16,641 divided by 9, the answer is 1,849. The answer is 1,849, that is equals to K. So this is the value of K. D is the correct answer. In question number 20, a data set and a frequency table is given. The frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in a data set. What is the maximum data value in the data set? Since from the data values, the maximum data value is 14, the maximum means the largest data value. So 14 is the right answer. In question number 21, a circle in xy plane has a diameter with endpoints 2 and 4 and 2 and 14. An equation of this circle is x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 9 whole square equals to r square. Where r is a positive constant, what is the value of r? Since r represents the radius of the circle and these both points are the endpoints of the diameter, so the radius will be half of the diameter. So what is diameter? Diameter can be calculated as the distance between these 2 points. That can be calculated by the formula as x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, and by taking the square root. Since the first point, the values of first point can be taken as x1, y1, and the value of second point can be named as x2, y2. Just substitute the values. The equation, the value of d will becomes 2 minus 2 whole square plus 14 minus 4 whole square, and by just taking square root, it will becomes 10 square root, that will be equals to 10. So the value of d is 10 and r equals to d by 2, that is equals to 10 by 2, that is equals to 5. So the radius of the circle is 5. In question number 22, the measure of angle r is 2 pi by 3 radian and the measure of angle t is 5 pi by 12 radian greater than the measure of angle R. What is the measure of angle T? To find angle T, we just have to add these two values. 2 pi by 3 plus 5 pi by 12. It will becomes 8 pi plus 5 pi by 12. That is 8 plus 5, it will become 13 pi by 12. But this value is in radian and we have to find the value in degrees. Just substitute the value of pi as 180. So angle T equals to 13 times 180 divided by 12. Let's solve this by the use of calculator. 13 times 180, 13 times 180 divided by 12. So the answer is 195. The answer is 195. So C is the correct answer. In question number 23, a certain town has an area of 4.36 square miles. What is the area in square yards of this town where 1 mile equals to 1760 yards? Since the area is 4.36 square miles and 1 mile is 1760 yards. Let's find the value of square miles. Since 1 mile equals to 1760 yards and 1 square mile equals to 1760 times 1760. That is equals to 1760 square. That is 30,97,600. 30,97,600. Now the area will be, this is area in yards, square yards. So you can write it as square yards. The area will be 4.36 multiplied by 30,97,600 square yards. Okay. Just by multiplying both the values, 4.36. The answer is multiplied by 4.36. The answer is 13,505,536. 13,505,536 square yards. So our correct answer is D. In question number 24, we have a table in which we have given the values of x and y. For line H, the table shows 3 values of x and 3 values of y. The line K is the result of translating the line H down 5 units in the xy plane. What is the x-intercept of the line K? As we know that from the line intercept form, or we can say from the slope intercept form, the equation will become y is equals to mx plus c, where m is the slope just find the slope of this given equation. M will becomes, let's say this is y1, this is y2, this is x1, this is x2. The slope, the formula for slope is y2 minus y1, that is 160 minus 130 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 23 minus 18. It becomes 30 by 5 and the value of m is 6. This equation becomes y equals to 6x plus c. Let's choose the first pair. The value of y is 130 and the value of x is 18. This equation becomes 130 equals to 6 times 18 plus c. And this equation again can be written as negative times 6 times 18 equals to c. Just solve this equation. Okay. 130 minus 6 times 18. 6 times 18. The answer is 22. So, 22 equals to c. By just substituting the value of c, this equation becomes y equals to 6x plus 22. Since the line K is a result of translating the line H down 5 units. So this equation becomes y equals to 6 times x plus 22 minus 5. And the equation becomes y equals to 6 times x plus 17. So this is the equation y equals to 6 times x plus 17. Now we have to find the x-intercept, for which we have to substitute the value of y equals to 0. If y is 0, the equation becomes 0 equals to 6 times x plus 17. And the value of x is minus 17 by 6. So the ordered pair is minus 17 by 6 and 0. So D is the correct answer. In question number 25, in the xy plane, the graph of the equation y equals to minus x square plus 9x minus 100 intersects the line y equals to c at exactly 1 point. What is the value of c? Since y equals to c is a line which is parallel to x-axis. Let's say this is a line y-axis and this is the x-axis. And there may be a line y equals to c that is parallel to x-axis. Let's say this is the line, that is y equals to c. And this equation y equals to minus x square plus 9x minus 100 represents a parabola. So this parabola can be a shape like this. What I want to show that a straight line which can intersect this parabola at exactly 1 point, then the point will be the vertex of the parabola. Means this line y equals to c intersect at the vertex of the parabola. So the c value, c represents the y value of the vertex. Okay. So I have to find the value of c, or I can say the value of y coordinate of this vertex. This equation can represent the parabolic form of this equation. So I have to convert this equation in this form. I am writing the equation y equals to minus x square plus 9x minus 100. Y equals to, by taking the negative common in common, the equation becomes x square minus 9x minus 100. Y equals to negative time x square minus 2 times x times 9 by 2. I am using completing square method. So by just adding 9 by 2 whole square minus 9 by 2 whole square minus 100. So this equation becomes y equals to negative time x minus 9 by 2 whole square plus 81 over 4 minus 100. So it becomes negative time x minus 9 by 2 whole square plus 81 minus 400 by 4. By just subtracting and solving this, it becomes negative time x minus 9 by 2 whole square minus 400 minus 81, it becomes 319 by 4. Since k represents the y value of the vertex, so minus 319 by 4 is the right answer because it represents the value of c. So c is the right answer. In question number 26, 2x plus 3y equals to 7, 10x plus 15y equals to 35. For each real number r, which of the following point lies on the graph of each equation in the xy plane for the given system? Since we have two equations, but if we can observe closely, the second equation can be obtained from the first equation by just multiplying by 5. Or I can say that if I can multiply first equation by 5, so I can obtain the second equation. So, and a point is the solution of an equation only if the point satisfies the equation. So I can just substitute the value of each point in first equation and check whether which point satisfies the equation. So to save time, I am just substituting the value of second point. The first equation becomes 2 times minus 3r by 2 plus 7 by 2 plus 3 times r equals to 7. This equation becomes 2 times minus 3r plus 7 by 2 plus 3r equals to 7. And equation becomes minus 3r plus 7 plus 3r equals to 7. Since 7 equals to 7, it means this point satisfies the equation. So B is the correct answer. Question number 27 is, the perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 624 centimeters. The height of this triangle is k times k root 3 centimeters, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? Let's draw an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle be like this. Means this line intersects the other side at the midpoint. And This line divides these triangles into two triangles of angle 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree, and same for 30, 60 and 90. Means the equilateral triangles is converted into two 30, 60, 90 triangles. Since the height is k times k root 3. The height is k times k root 3. Then from the postulate of 30, 60 and 90 triangles, 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree triangles, since k square root 3 is the altitude of the triangle, or the side that is corresponding to 60 has length k times, and by using both of these values we can find the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle, and the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle is 2k, as hypotenuse represents the side of equilateral triangle. Each side of equilateral triangle has of length 2k, and same for this side 2k. Now we have to find the value of k. By taking the perimeter of the equilateral triangle, it becomes 2k plus 2k plus 2k equals to 624 centimeter. It becomes 6k equals to 624 centimeter. To find the value of k, I can just divide by 6 on both sides. 624 divided by 6. There, 624 divided by 6. The answer is 104. So, 104 is the value of k. Our first question is, Tilly earns P dollars for every W hours of work. Which expression represents the amount of money in dollars Tilly earns for 39 W hours of work? Tilly earns for 39 W hours of work. Since for every P dollars, Tilly have to work for W hours. Since we have 39 W hours, and if the hours will be 39 W, then Tilly will get 39 P dollars. Okay, so A is the correct answer. In question number 2, for a training program, John rides his bike at an average rate of 5.7 minutes per mile. Which function M models the number of minutes it will take John to ride X miles at this rate? Since 1 mile will be covered in 5.7 minutes. Okay? And if there are X miles, then X miles will be covered 5.7 times X minutes. It means D is the correct answer. Okay, in question number 3, we have two equations. The solution of the given system of equations is x, y. What is the value of y? Just find the value of x from the first equation. As 3x equals to 12, it gives the value x equals to 12 by 3, that is equals to 4. Now substitute the value of x in equation 2. Okay, our second equation is minus 3x plus y equals to minus 6. Just substitute the value of x. It becomes minus 3 times 4 plus y equals to minus 6. And y becomes minus 6, and this value becomes minus 12. And when we will move this value towards the right side, it becomes plus 12. and the answer is plus 6. So B is the correct answer. In question number 4, S equals to 40 plus 3t. The equation gives the speed S in miles per hour. It means S represents the speed and is the speed miles per hour of a certain car t seconds after it begins to accelerate. So after t seconds, the car begins to accelerate. What is the speed in miles per hour of the car after 5 seconds? It begins to accelerate. So the value of t is 5. The above equation becomes S equals to 40 plus 3 times 5. It becomes 40 plus 15, that is equals to 55. So D is the correct answer. In question number 5, we have a triangle. In this triangle, we have 3 different sides. One is hypotenuse, and this is the base of the triangle, and this is the perpendicular of this triangle, or I can say the altitude of this triangle. Since the value of A is 4 and the value of B is 5, which expression represents the value of C? As we know the Pythagoras theorem, in Pythagoras theorem, we have hypotenuse square equals to base square plus altitude square. By substituting the values, C square equals to B square plus A square. So C square becomes, the value of B is 5, it becomes 5 square, and the value of A is 4, it becomes 4 square. And C equals to, by just rearranging the numbers, it becomes 4 square plus 5 square, and by taking the square root on both sides, so the value of C will be 4 square plus 5 square square root. So D is the correct answer. In question number 6, we have an equation. What is the solution to the given equation? We are just solving this equation. Just move 5 towards the right side of the equation. It becomes 165 minus 5, and it becomes 4x equals to 160. Just by dividing with 4 on both sides, x will be 40. So this is the answer. In question number 7, a graph is given. The x-intercept of the graph shown is x and 0. What is the value of x? Since this ordered pair shows that the value of y is 0. So when the value of y is 0, then the value of x is 7. So the value of x will be 7. In question number 8, the function f is defined by f of x equals to 1 by 10 times x minus 2. What is the y-intercept of the graph of y equals to f of x in the xy plane? Since we have to find the y-intercept of the graph. To find the y-intercept of the graph, we set the value of x equals to 0. Then this function becomes f of x equals to 1 by 10 times 0 minus 2. So the value of f of x will be minus 2. And the ordered pair will be 0 and minus 2. So B is the correct answer. In question number 9, the function f is defined by f of x equals to 7x cubed. In the xy plane, the graph of y equals to g of x is the result of shifting the graph y equals to f of x down 2 units. Which equation defines the function g? Okay, so the graph g is obtained by shifting the graph of f of x by 2 units down. Then the graph of g of x will be obtained by g of x equals to f of x minus 2. And it becomes g of x equals to 7x cube minus 2. Let's see this through graph. Okay, here is the graph of 7x cube. And the graph of 7x cube minus 2 is, since the previous graph is at this place, now the graph has shifted towards the 2 units down at this place. Okay, so D is the correct answer. In question number 10, two equations are given. Which ordered pair xy is the solution to the given system of equations? It is clear that by taking the square of the first equation, we get the second equation. So just take the square of the first equation. So x plus 7 whole square equals to 10 square. So it becomes x plus 7 whole square equals to 100. Just by comparing these two equations, the value of y is 100. Let's see which ordered pair have the value y equals to 100. Since A has the value y equals to 100, so A is the correct answer. In question number 11, which expression is equivalent to 7x cube plus 7x minus 6x cube minus 3x? Just solve this expression. It becomes 7x cube plus 7x. Just multiply this negative sign with both of the terms of this expression. So it will becomes minus 6x cube plus 3x. Just by solving this equation, it becomes 7x cube minus 6x cube. The answer is x cube. And plus 7x plus 3x. It becomes plus 10x. So A is the correct answer. In question number 12, the function p is defined by p of n equals to 7n cube. What is the value of n when p of n is equals to 56? Since p of n is equals to 56 and the value of p of n is 7n cube, then equation becomes 7n cube equals to 56. Just by dividing with 7 on both sides, it becomes n cube equals to 8, and we can write it as 8 can be written as 2 raised power 3. By using the law of exponent, the value of n is equals to 2. So A is the correct answer. Okay, in question number 13, a figure is given. In this figure, the line C intersects the parallel line S and T. What is the value of x? Since a complete straight line angle is 180 degree, but this angle value is 110 degree, then what is the amount of this angle? We can find this angle by just subtracting 110 from 180, and it will give 70 degree. Since both of these angles are corresponding, so the value of x naught is 70 degree. In question number 14, a list of 10 data values is shown. What is the mean of these data? The mean is calculated by sum of all values divided by number of values. So but just add all of these values. It becomes 6 plus 8 plus 16 plus 4 plus 17 plus 26 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So the sum of all the values is 100 and the number of values are 10. So the answer will be 10. In question number 15, the given equation E of t equals to 5 times 1.8 whole raised to power t gives the estimated number of employees at a restaurant, where t is the number of years since the restaurant opened. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the number 5 in this context? Since t represents the number of years since the restaurant opened, so when t is 0 means just restaurant is open, and the equation will becomes E of t equals to 5 times 1.8 whole raised to power 0. It becomes 5 times 1, that is equals to 5. As E of t gives the estimated number of employees, so the number 5 is the estimated number of employees when the restaurant is open. So A is correct. In question number 16, we have a function. What is the minimum value of the given function? To find the minimum value of the given function, just substitute x equals to 0. The equation becomes g of 0 equals to 0 square plus 55. That is equals to 55. So B is the correct answer. In question number 17, each year the value of an investment increases by 0.49% of its value the previous year. Which of the following functions best models how the value of the investment changes over time? Since each year the value of the investment increases by 0.49% of the value of the previous year. Since the value is increases, so the function will be increasing function, and each year the value increases by 0.49% of the value of previous year. Means every year the values increases by a fixed percentage or by a fixed amount. So the function is exponential function and it is also increasing function. So it is increasing exponential function. C is the correct answer. In question number 18, the population of Greenville increased by 7%. From 2015 to 2016, if the 2016 population is k times the 2015 population, what is the value of k? Let the population in 2015 will be population in 2015 will be x. Then the population in 2016 will be x plus 7% of x. Since the population is increasing by 7% from 2015 to 2016, so it will be 7% of x, and it gives x plus 0.07 times x, and it will becomes 1 plus 0.07 times x, and it will becomes 1.07 x. So the value of k is 1.07. So C is the correct answer. In question number 19, which expression is equivalent to a raised to power 11 over 12, where a is greater than 0? Since from the MCQs, it is clear that the power of a is 132. So we have to convert this 11 to 132. How we can do that? We can just multiply 11 with 12 and divide in division, or we can say in denominator, we can multiply 12 with 12. Or we can just multiplying 12 in both the numerators and the denominators. And this equation becomes a raised power 132 divided by 144. So I can write it as a raised power 132 and its root will be 144. So B is the correct answer. In question number 21, an event planner is planning a party. It costs the event planner a one-time fee of $35 to rent the venue and $10.25 per attendee. The event planner has a budget of $200. What is the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget? Since the budget is $200, just subtract the one-time fee, that is $35, it becomes $165. And since per attendee the fee is $10.25, so just divide 165 by 10.25. It becomes 165 divided by 10.25. It becomes 1.56. Sorry, 165. It becomes 16.09. It gives the value 16.09. So 16 is the maximum or the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget. In question number 21, if the absolute value of 4x minus 4 equals to 112, what is the positive value of x minus 1? Since to find the positive value, we can write this expression as 4x minus 4 equals to 112. By taking 4 in common, it becomes 4 times x minus 1 equals to 112. By just dividing with 4 on both sides, it becomes x minus 1 equals to 4 to the 8 and 4 8 is 32. So, this is the right answer. In question number 22, a cube has an edge length of 68 inches and a solid sphere with a radius of 34 inches is inside the cube such that the sphere touches the center of each face of the cube. To the nearest cubic inches, what is the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by the sphere? Since the sphere is inside the cube and we have to find the volume of the cube that is not taken up by the sphere. So we can just calculate the volume of cube and the volume of sphere and subtract the volume of sphere from the volume of cube. So the volume of cube is volume of cube is 68 times 68 raised power 3. And the volume of sphere is 4 by 3 times pi times r cube. But the value of r is 34, so it becomes 34 raised power 3. Since we have to find the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by the sphere, so we will just subtract the volume of sphere from the volume of cube. So we can write it as the volume of cube minus volume of sphere. It becomes 68 raised power 3 minus 4 by 3, I can write the value of pi as 3.14 times 34 whole raised to power 3. Just solving this expression with the help of calculator. 68 raised to power 3 minus 4 by 3 times 3.14 times 34 raised to power 3. It gives the value 149,879.2, and it is rounded off to 149,879 cubic meter. A is the right answer. In question number 23, what is the diameter of the circle in xy plane with equation x minus 5 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square equals to 16? Since the equation of the circle is of the form of x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square equals to r square, where r represents the radius of the circle. So by just comparing these two equations, r square will be equals to 16 and r will be equals to 4, and the diameter is 2 times the radius, so it will becomes 2 times 4, that is equals to 8. So B is the correct answer. In question number 24, for the exponential function f, the value of f of 1 is k. It means f of 1 is equals to k, where k is a constant. Which of the following equivalent forms of the function f shows the value of f as a coefficient or base? So when x is 1, then the value of k must be a coefficient or base of the equation. So let's see. Just substitute the value of x equals to 1 in all of these equations simultaneously. The first equation becomes f of x equals to 50 times 1.6 4 raised to power 2. So it is not representing the base or a coefficient. From the second equation, we can write it as f of x equals to 80 times 1.6 4 raised to power 1. So it is also not representing the value of k. Also, from C, f of x equals to 1.128 times 1.6 whole raised to power 1 minus 1. That is equals to 128 whole raised to power 1.6 raised to power 0, and it becomes 128. Where 128 is the coefficient of this function and it is the value of k. So it satisfies the given conditions. So C is the correct answer. In this question, a model estimates that at the end of each year from 2015 to 2020, the number of squirrels in a population was 150% more than the number of squirrels in the population at the end of the previous year. The model estimates that at the end of 2016, there were 180 squirrels in the population. Which of the following equation represents this model, where n is the estimated number of squirrels in the population t years after the end of 2015, where t is lesser or equals to 5. Since the increase in population is 150 times more than the previous year, and at the end of 2016, There are 180 squirrels, and the time is starting from 2015, from the end of 2015. The model that best represents this situation is given by n equals to a times 1 plus p over 100 whole raised power t, where this p represents the percentage increase in the population per year. So this equation becomes n equals to a times 1 plus 150 over 100 whole raised power t, and it becomes a times 1 plus 1.5 whole raised power t, and it becomes a times 2.5 whole raised power t. Now, at the end of 2016, means 2016 is the first year, there are 180 squirrels in the population. So when t is 1, so I can write it as when t is 1, then the population will be 180 and the value of n is 180. This equation becomes 180 equals to a times 2.5 whole raised power 1. Just by dividing with 2 raised power 2.5 on both sides, and the value of a will be 180 divided by 2.5. (180 divided by 2.5). The answer is 72. So the value of a is 72. Now this equation becomes n equals to 72 times 2.5 whole raised to the power t. 72 times 2 raised to the power t, so B is the correct answer. In question number 26, a pair of equations is given. In the given pair of equations, a and b are constants. The graph of this pair of equation in the xy plane is a pair of perpendicular lines. Which of the following pair of equations also represents a pair of perpendicular lines? The two equations are perpendicular only if the product of their slope is -1. Just find the product of these slope of these two equations. The slope of first equation is -5/7, and the slope of second equation is -a/b, that is equals to -1. So it gives the value 5a equals to -7b. Okay, now let's see which of these 4 pair of equations have this slope or have the value of this. From the first equation, the product of slope is -10/7 times -a by -2b equals to -1. It will becomes, okay, so it will becomes 5a by 7b equals to -1, and here is a minus because there are 3 negative signs, so 2 will be cancelled out, and this is the equation, and it will becomes -5a equals to -7b. So it is different from our given equation, so it is not the correct answer. Let's move towards B. From B, the slope is -10/7 times -a by 2b. equals to minus 1. It gives 2 5s are 10 and it becomes 5a by 7b equals to minus 1. And the answer will be 5a equals to minus 7b. So this equation resembles our given equation. So B is the correct answer. In question number 27, an equation is given. The equation is x square minus 34x plus c equals to 0. In the given equation, c is a constant and the equation has no real solutions if c is greater than n. What is the least possible value of n? Since the given equation has no real solution, it means the given equation has imaginary solution. An equation have imaginary solution only if the discriminant of the equation is less than 0. Means if the discriminant of the equation is less than 0. That is b square minus 4ac is less than 0. And by just substituting the values from this equation, it becomes minus 34 whole square minus 4c is less than 0. And it becomes 34 whole square is less than 4c by just dividing with 4 on both sides. And it becomes 34 whole square divided by 4. The answer is 289. So 289 is less than c. So the value of n is 289, which is the least possible value of n. So our today's test is solved. Thank you very much for listening.